I'm Joe Chile. You can join me mornings on the Big Weck. Joining us today on the Big Weck's Buffalo on the Rise is Jeff Hahn from SC Parker. Jeff, how are you?
Fine, Joe. How are you?
You're looking very dapper.
Well,
very
thank
nice
you.
Today.
Thank you.
Very good. I have to ask you a question now, and I know that you're going to frown at me when I say this, but we want to know how investment markets are doing, and when I get my investment things that come in the mail, I'm not in a rush to open them. And I don't know whether am I in the minority here? What's the deal?
Well, the last round should have been better for
Okay, I can open that when I get home.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. I could tell a story about that, but I won't.
Okay, please. If it involves my investments, don't. But anyway.
Yeah. So the markets finished, the stock market finished very strong. The bond market too. Last year, the last quarter turned out real well. The beginning of the year so far, it's been a little rocky, which is normal, right? Especially after the market runs up so much. You know, the thing people don't often realize, when you're in the stock market, you own companies, and the companies are traded all day long, so the price of the stock changes all day long, which means the price of your account changes all day long, right?
Yeah.
And you just got to wrap your head around that your value of your investment is changing constantly.
Well, speaking of wrapping your head around things, you know, when I watch Money Matters or something at CNN or something like that, and I see them with the shot of the stock market, and I see somebody doing this, it really scares the living daylights.
Well, okay, you know, so at least they're not jumping out a window.
No,
right?
No, that's true, and I say that tongue in cheek. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? But what's the fundamental reason for investing? I mean, it's not to go in and constantly switch money in and out and in and out and in and out. You've got to be patient with some of this stuff, right?
Absolutely. So for most folks, you want to have a system where you're making regular deposits. You want to invest in things that you believe in and that you're willing to watch them grow over time. That's the objective with the stock market. You're buying ownership, so you're hoping that it will become more valuable, but you know that it's going to change all the time. The other side of the investment world is to preserve your money. So that's the bond market. You're making loans with the bond market. And when we lend money, all we want to do is get paid back and get some interest for it.
All right. I've got a great idea for you.
Go for it.
You're going to think that I'm crazy here, but what about starting a company to recycle batteries from electric cars?
Well, there actually are companies like that, but they're privately held.
Okay.
As far as I know, I don't know of any public recycling battery companies.
But it's something new, right? I mean,
it is something new, and it is something that will grow. That's a field that will grow as electric cars become more prevalent and the batteries start to deteriorate and fail. But those are they're made out of things that are highly recyclable, right? So yeah, you might be onto something there, Joe.
Not that it's going to probably affect me at this point, but all right, when we start talking about financial...
You don't have an extra 10 or 20 million laying around.
No. It's funny if you would have asked me before Christmas,
Right.
But no. What about financial literacy, when we talk about financial literacy?
I'll tell you, it's a huge issue for us. It's a huge issue for us as a country. And, everybody participates in the economy. We all have our own economy. It's just the nature of the world. People should have an understanding of what the stocks are, what the stock market is, and how a bond works, and how interest rate works, and how compounding works for you, and also the interest that you're paying on your credit cards, if you have them, how that works against you, right? It increases the cost of a good by an enormous amount. And these are all concepts that we spend a lot of time with our clients on. We're making publications on our website. We have all sorts of articles that cover these things. But to me, it's a national and cultural situation that needs to be addressed.
Let me ask you this. This may seem like a foolish question, but I'm in school and I learn calculus.
Yeah.
Never in my life would I use calculus. I don't think, but I never have. But as far as financial planning, what did they do to educate you for it?
It's always on an elective basis, right? I don't mean to dump on the education system,
right.
And I'm not trying to preach. I got a little soapboxy there for a second, but we learn. Like my kids went to the Williamsville schools. They had 8 years worth of French. I don't know if you parachuted my sons into Paris if they could make it to the restroom or not, but the only business education that they got was if it was done on an elective basis. I think there is a movement, right? In fact, we were out in California and they had a petition drive making financial literacy a requirement in all of the schools. I think it's something that you could spend some time on every year with these kids, because they're going to be on their own when they get out of it, right?
There you go, from Professor Jeff Hahn. Jeff, website, phone number if people need to get a hold of you.
Phone number 716-632-6800 or scparker.com. We have a Facebook thing going now too, Joe. We're in the modern era.
Great, that's fabulous. For more information and answers to your questions, contact SC Parker by calling 716-480-7500 or go to scparker.com. Sponsorship and promotional consideration for the preceding segment was provided by the following.